So if you're watching this as a replay, I go live every Sunday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you are watching this as a replay, there's people that were live on this and they ask questions or tell me what they're looking for, and we tour the entire lot and I could show them basically what they're looking for. If you're watching this as a replay, it usually takes about 24 hours for the HD quality to be uploaded. It also takes about 24 hours for the live comments to come up. So if you do want to see the live comments that people were asking me questions on, go down to where the comments are. There'll be 2 dots and you could swipe that sideways and then you'll be able to see all the live comments of people coming on and asking me questions. I like to do this every Sunday because it's a great opportunity for people to come on and get their questions answered immediately versus, having to search for their answer through YouTube. It's just a lot more quick. And the other fun thing is we can tour over 250 units on this lot. And you just basically tell me what you are looking for. What we're probably going to do today is I picked 2 trailers of each brand, each level of trailer. So we're going to kind of check out each level and show you the difference in quality of construction and why I kind of think one is better than the other. Not necessarily better, but kind of the construction of each one. So we are going to be touring some Catalinas. We're going to be touring some No Boundaries, some Flagstaff, some Surveyors, and what am I missing? I'm missing another one. Oh, an E-Pro. We'll be looking at some E-Pros too. It was short notice this week. I need to start kind of telling people ahead of time of when to come on live. I usually do it the same day, so I don't imagine too many people will be coming on, but I have a lot of people that watch the replay of these. So we are going to wait just a few seconds and then we'll get going and show you different options. If anyone is on this, let me know. Let me know if my audio is coming through. But we are going to jump on the golf cart. We're going to be plugging in some trailers and seeing different options out there. Not sure how many people will come on, but this will be a great video for people that want to watch the replay because I'm going to be showing you different options that we have. If you don't know where we're located at Albuquerque RV in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're a locally owned dealership out here, sitting right between 2 big corporate dealers. So I appreciate those of you that gave us some positive reviews. Let me know if the audio is coming through. Kind of take it slow until we get people on here. So most of the trailers I picked today will be couples coaches, right around like 3,000 pounds up to like 5,500 pounds. Let me turn you around. So we got Catalina. Those of you that are jumping on, let me know my audio is good. We got Catalina, we got Riverstone, we got every level of trailer. And I think we're going to be doing one of these smaller Catalinas to start with and work our way up all the way to, the higher end premium trailers. So right here, we will plug these in. Let's see what we got here. This is the 154 RDX. We will plug this bad boy in. Those of you that are just jumping on, we are going to be touring one of each, or two trailers of each brand. Finally get to watch this. Well, yeah, what's going on? You made it to the live. So today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you 2 couples coaches of each brand. And then once I get done with those, then we'll, you can tell me what you're looking for. Feel free to ask me questions as we go through this. So I'm going to be showing you couples RVs. I'll say that, that's a little easier. That are lightweight. This is going to be a 154 RDX. If this is your first time on the live, we can't do widescreen. So it's a little more accurate of the size of the trailer. So this unit right here is going to be 3,000 pounds and 19 feet 6 inches. Those of you that are just jumping on, we're going to do two couples coaches of each brand, and we're going to work our way up to all the way up to the higher end brand. We are starting off with the Catalina. This is going to be more of your traditional, stick and tin build, 3,000 pounds and 19 feet 6 inches. And I'll show you pricing on these as well. Pricing does change every so often. You mentioned last week that the Flagstaff is going to be making a 26-foot version. I think it's going to be a 26-foot Flagstaff, but I think it's going to be a different layout. It's going to be 26 feet. And I heard that the dinette is going to be in the front, which is very I don't know. That sounds odd. Well, once we get it, I will definitely do a tour. But if they're going to make a 26 foot with no slide, that's going to be impressive. So those of you that are just jumping on, I am going to show you two couples coaches all the way up from the more traditional stick and tin build all the way up to like the higher end. And they're all going to be around 3,000 pounds up to, maybe 6,000 pounds at most. So this is a nice couples coach. It does not have a slide. And like I said, this is a traditional stick and tin build, which is not bad. It's all about how you're going to use the unit. If you're a weekend warrior, this is not going to be an entry-level trailer per se, like a Coleman. Those Coleman lanterns are extremely cheap. This still will have like your upgraded appliances, all GE. I appreciate that. Yeah, I get a lot of people that do the couples coaches. So that's what I've kind of realized on my channel. We got all GE appliances. Roof-mounted AC. Always make sure you get the roof-mounted AC because the wall one just isn't that great. This will turn into a bed back here as well. This is going to be kind of your price on something like this, $21,000 down to $16,995. So this is a nice starting trailer. Not entry level because the tanks are bigger. These are going to be 44-gallon freshwater tank, whereas like the Coleman will have like a 28-gallon. So much bigger tanks, better appliances, and it is a fully walk-on roof, tankless water heater. And I always mention this in my videos, tankless water heaters tend to not do good at high altitude. But the cool thing is on Catalina, they give you the altitude adjustment. So if you do get a tankless water heater, make sure it has that altitude adjustment. We are at high altitude up here in New Mexico. So this is a nice traditional stick and tin build that is going to be 3,000 pounds and 19 feet 6 inches. Those of you that are jumping on, we are going to be touring two couples coaches of each brand, going from kind of our starting trailer up to the higher end. And so when you're out looking at trailers, you can open up these storage compartments and then you'll see you got all that wood framing under there, which isn't bad. It's probably going to be a better insulator, versus the aluminum. And then, like I said, this doesn't have a slide out, but still a really nice trailer. Let's go to a 25 foot of a Catalina. So this will be your 19 foot 6 inches. Let's go up to the next step up. It has those nice lights that wrap up and around. So I'll show you a 25 foot couples coach in the Catalina. So that'll be more for someone that maybe has like an SUV, something smaller. This next one is awesome. This is probably one of my favorite layouts for Catalina, like a couples coach at 25 feet. And we're gonna work our way up. The way I'm doing these trailers is in order of what I think is probably the best, as you go up in features and construction and stuff. So we're gonna be touring two of each brand for a couples coach. Plug this in. This will be the plug you need when you buy a trailer. You'll need a 7-way plug, and that's what will work your batteries. Let me put you down. Let's see. That'll work your batteries as well as your brakes, all that good stuff, even charge your batteries. So you will need a 7-way. So this will be a 25 foot couples coach. We just did a 19 foot. So I believe this is a 2024. So it will be a little more affordable. This will be the 221 MKE. So this trailer is going to be 25 feet, 11 inches, 5,267 pounds. This is going to be more of like an open floor concept. I love this layout. If you notice, the last layout had an east-west facing bed, which sometimes people tend to not like because you'd have to like roll over your significant other or making the bed. So this will be a little easier to make the bed. You will also get one slide out, a huge slide. So this whole wall slides out. You got theater seating. And I'll show you the price of this too. The reason I don't put pricing on my normal videos is because I want them to last for years down the road. And pricing does change, because of the materials, the gas, all that stuff. So that's why a lot of YouTubers do not put pricing in their videos, just because we've gotten calls and then they're upset because the price changed. But really nice layout, lots of counter space. So this is a nice affordable, more traditional build, wood framed. This is not going to be an enclosed underbelly. Do you ever get in recommending appropriate tow vehicles? Do you ever get into recommending? Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the size of the unit you're wanting, and I could recommend them. I love Toyota Tacomas, but those only tow like 6,500 pounds. If you are going to be buying a vehicle, usually what I tell people is you want it to have 1,000 pounds of freed up room. So you never want to go to your max tow rating. You're going to want to be 1,000 pounds under. And so I usually don't go off GVWR, which is gross vehicle weight, because these trailers have a lot of cargo weight. Like some of them have, 2,000 pounds of cargo. You will never put 2,000 pounds of cargo in the trailer. Usually about 800 pounds of cargo. 800 pounds is usually what we see people put cargo in. So like if you got a trailer that was 5,000 pounds, no, maybe like 4,000 pounds, you'd be at 4,800 after you load it. That's perfect for like a Tacoma. You'll be well under that tow rating. 67, I see a lot of 67. All right, so north-south facing bed. I was saying too, this isn't like a 4-season trailer, also known as an extended season, so it doesn't have that enclosed underbelly. It is something you can add. If you're someone that doesn't camp in cold weather, it's very important, why spend the money on something you're not going to use in the wintertime? If you're not going to be using the tank heaters or, I might have to hide you because I can't keep getting this. Let's see. Sorry, I had to hide you just because I want to make sure everyone else can talk. Sorry, man. Sorry if I missed any of your comments. I was getting like a bunch of 67s in there. Let other people kind of leave some comments. So yeah, so this will be more like, it's not going to be extended season. You could still use it in cold weather. But if you wanted to because the heaters work extremely well in these trailers. So it's not that you will be cold in it. Your tanks could potentially freeze. So if you did want to use this in cold weather, you still could, because you would just bring your water along. You just wouldn't be able to use your tanks. So we will move up from this trailer, something like this, 25 feet. This is going to be from 38 down to 27,995. Like I said, right about 5,000 pounds. Look at that cargo, 2,324. You would never put that much cargo in this. So that's where I tell you, like, usually about 800 pounds of cargo is what you could put. So like, I usually go off dry weight. Some people get mad at me for that, but that's the way I've been doing it for the 8 years of selling these. I think it's just a lot more accurate because most people do not put that much cargo in this unit. Man, I wonder who was spamming me. That was really weird. I didn't like that. Gotta be respectful here. I block people quick, man. I don't mess around with that stuff. Make sure you guys can all ask questions as well too. So we're gonna go now to a Surveyor. Surveyor is gonna be a big jump up from the Catalina construction-wise. And some of the features, now could you show a couple of shots of the type of plumbing in your videos, water tank? I could show the plumbing. What you want to see the water heater and stuff and the plumbing? Just let me know and I'll show it. So I'm going to show you a Surveyor, and I'll show you kind of the differences between, the more traditional stick and tin build. Let's see, I had it ready for us. There we go, there it is. And feel free, I'm going to show these, two of each of these trailers, and then once I'm done, you guys could feel free to ask me like what you want to see or anything like that. I just kind of want to show you what we have and kind of explain how these trailers work, because you're going to go onto a lot and you're going to be confused because there's so many brands. The pipe connections, okay, PEX, I got you. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of videos about this. So this will be a Surveyor. This is going to be a step up from a Catalina. There isn't one wrong or right trailer to buy. It's just how you're going to use it. Now you're moving up to fiberglass, okay? Now you're also moving up to 6-side aluminum framing. So here, I appreciate you guys watching. It's awesome. So now you're up on the aluminum framing. Always make sure it's 6-sided, meaning, the roof, the floor, front wall, back wall, both side walls, all aluminum. If you just got here, we're going to be touring 2 of each brand and kind of show you. I started off with kind of our starting trailers, which is Catalina. We are now at a Surveyor, a big step up. Now you're getting fiberglass, 6-side aluminum framing. You even got your luggage latches right here, which is nice, the slam latches. If I was getting a fiberglass trailer, the one thing I would, this is probably the biggest thing on my list, is I'd want it to have the composite outer wall. Because It's not a huge deal, but I just would rather have the peace of mind having that composite outer wall versus the Luan. And most of you guys know what that is because I go so in depth in my videos. They're kind of overkill. I'm kind of wondering if I should shorten them up a little bit. Let me know. So something like this, we're still in that, you know, 20 to 25 foot range. I don't have a 20-foot Surveyor, but we'll do this one. So 25 feet, 1 inch, 5,277 pounds. So you're gonna see a big difference, a big step up in quality, construction, a little more pizzazz, you know, a little more luxurious. Like I said, there is no right or wrong trailer to buy. This is maybe for someone that's gonna be hitting the road for a long extended period of time, where, you know, some of those trailers over there, you might be, hey, Harrison, appreciate you. Orlando, woo, you're in Orlando, huh? All right, so yeah, the more traditional stick and tin build, maybe you go out, you know, once a month, maybe even only like 5 times a year. Why spend so much on a trailer when you're not going to use it as much? But if you're going to use it a lot, you know, maybe you want something a little more comfortable. So you got 6-side aluminum framing. You can see that like it's just finished a little bit better. You know, the color schemes, a little more attention to detail. You got your bar stools. I didn't realize the other day, I've been saying the wrong thing for like 8 years. Not 8 years. Yeah, actually 8 years. I've been saying 3-burner top, 3-burner cooked, or no, what was I saying? 3-burner cooktop. 3-top burner is what I was saying. And they're like, you're supposed to say 3-burner cooktop. And I've been saying it wrong the whole time. So you got 3-burner cooktop. Awesome. The audio is good. I appreciate that. That's the most important thing. You got your undermount sink. See, I'm learning a lot from you guys. I listen to you guys. If I don't get to, I appreciate you watching from Ontario, Canada. Holy smokes, that is awesome. So yeah, see, just finished a little better. If you're just getting here, we're doing 2 couples coaches of each brand, working our way from kind of the starting trailer all the way up to probably my favorite brand. And I just got finished with kind of like our starting trailers, which isn't really entry level, but it's more of like weekend warrior. Let the journey begin. Now, even on this one, you'll get up to, you'll get your solar. South Carolina in the house. That is awesome. Can't believe it. You'll get solar on this. So you'll get 400 watts of solar. Sometimes it's 200 watts on the Surveyor. It just depends on when you buy one. It will be prepped for the inverter. Like even your cabinetry, sometimes it, like this isn't real. I think it's paper wrapped. Isn't a super big deal, but it could potentially, you know, peel on you. And as we go up, you'll see differences. You'll see small little details. But I personally like the interior of Surveyors and Nobos almost better than Flagstaff. So now you're getting into, see, look at the bathroom, attention to detail versus the Catalina. Lightweight couples coach because of that 6-side aluminum framing. Turn this light on. And of course, you guys know it. Once you get up to this level of trailer, you get the big fart fan, baby. Woo! Yeah. And then porcelain toilet. Also tankless water heater. So this is what you got to look for if you're camping in cold weather, is these heated holding tanks. So these are 12 volts. I won't go super crazy in depth because I do it in all my other videos. But see, once you jump up to this level, you'll start getting, you know, that enclosed underbelly, tank heaters, all that good stuff. So these are the little things you got to ask yourself, like, am I going to use it in cold weather? Am I not? Because there's no sense in spending all the extra money if you're not going to use it. But I love this layout. Really great layout. 25 feet, 1 inch, and right at 4,893 pounds for the dry weight. So something like this, you know, could be close for Tacoma. It might be a little heavy. Ford F-150 would be perfect. So you don't need anything crazy. You don't need to go out and get like a dually for these trailers. They are very light, the materials they use. You will have a ducted AC now in this one too versus the last trailer, 15,000 BTU. Now I'll show you another Surveyor, just a little bit bigger. So like I said, if you're just joining, we're going to do 2 trailers of each brand, working our way up to the best brand. I don't like to say best because, you know, it's, oh, I forgot to show the plumbing. I'll do it from here on out. I apologize. The next one will be the same trailer, so you'll be able to see it. There's no right or wrong trailer. And if you guys want a reference of this, because I've done tours on all of these, this will be the 202 RBLE. I've done a 45-minute tour on this one if this one catches your eye. We can order you any unit And those of you that are new here, you actually get a tax incentive by buying in New Mexico. We have what's called the Sunshine Law. And basically, you can get our sales tax, which is 4% without a physical address here. And I always tell people, I'm like, even if the price is kind of the same, which most of the time it's not because you'll save a lot, but even if it is the same price, you know, where you're at, why give it to the government? How about you come take a trip out here, get some green chili, spend that extra money on taxes you would have given to the government to take a trip, and then you could come to New Mexico. Let's see, there was another one over here I wanted to show you. So this one will be like right around 27 feet, so a little bit bigger. This is a really great layout right here. So I'm doing each brand, we're gonna do 2 couples coaches, and one will be like 19 feet, and then we'll do like a 30 foot, just to give you guys different ideas. I get a lot of I have a lot of travel trailer subscribers. I have a lot of fifth wheels I need to do, but it seems like you guys like travel trailers. And you guys are the ones that are driving this channel on what I want to show. So this will be the 252 RBLE. Everything is going to be the same in the Surveyors, even though they're bigger. As long as it is the Legend, it'll be the same, because they have a Camp Series, which is more their basic. Then they have the Legend, and then the Grand Surveyor, which is the big ones. This is going to be 5,000 pounds, or 5,855 pounds dry, and 29 feet 7 inches. So I was off a little bit. So it went from 25 feet to 29 feet. So usually when you get to this length, you are going to get your private room. So you'll get that dividing wall. Look at how nice this layout is. It's just, everything is positioned so nicely in it. Like your theater seating is in front of your TV. Look at that. So you could see the step up from when we started at the Catalina. If you guys are just joining us, we started at kind of our starting trailers, and now we're on to the second level of trailers, and we're going to go another step up after this. And then once I'm done with that, you guys could tell me what you want to look at, and we could tour the whole lot. You got your pocket doors right here to give you a little more space versus the swinging doors. North-south bed, I believe that is a 60 by 80. So if you're new to RVs, they do make 60 by 74 mattresses, which are RV queens. Don't be too worried about that, because there's a lot of mattress companies out there that do make, you know, 60 by 74 mattresses. Does have your second AC in here. Definitely get the second AC if it has a second bedroom. It gets hot. Like when I do videos, if we have a trailer that only has one AC and it's 2 bedroom, I think I can only get it up to like 70 or down to 77 degrees in the summertime. So make sure it has that second AC if you're living somewhere that's hotter, because it's a little hard for the one AC when there's 2 bedrooms, even if it's ducted. I like to give you guys things that I hear from customers or what I experience. You got a nice big pantry. I could literally walk into this, and then we'll look at the plumbing of the Surveyor. What year is this one? Because I know a lot of companies, because of everyone complaining, they've changed a lot. So this will be a 25. And let's see what this plumbing looks like. Let me know what it is. I am not very handy. Let me know what kind of plumbing. That looks like the good kind, right? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what kind of plumbing that is. But I know a lot of companies have gotten backlash because of that. If you're new here, I do super in-depth tours. This is not normal. I usually like measure everything out. So check out my other videos if you're just now seeing my channel. So this is going to be big bathroom. Anytime you get the bathroom in the back, it's going to be very, very spacious. But like I always tell you guys, there is drawbacks to everything when it comes to RVs. Whoa, what the heck? Someone's screaming out, gave me a heart attack. All right, so there's the plumbing there. That looks like it's a little different, huh? There's little kids running around out there. We are a family-owned dealership, so we have kids, dogs. Hey, careful, guys. I'm on a live. All right. Big linen closet. These little gremlins. You might see some gremlins coming up. We have kids running around all the time. We're family fun here. So nice big floor plan. So this is what happens when you get to a 29 foot. You're going to be getting up to the 29 foot. So now we'll go to a no boundaries. It's very close. It's very close because Nobo and Surveyor come out of the same factory. Man, those kids are screaming. Let's see. Turn around and go to a Nobo. So Nobo, Surveyor, R-Pod, and Ibex all come out of the same factory. So you'll see when we go from the Surveyor to the no boundaries, they look extremely similar. But what you're getting on the Nobo is this beast mode suspension. So let's look at a 20 foot, and then we'll go up to a 30 foot like we just did now on a Surveyor. So another thing, like I always explain, is, like I've said, really think about how you're going to use the trailer, because this suspension isn't for everyone. I get people that are like headstrong on it, and I ask them, how are you going to use it? Oh, well, you know, we might go to campgrounds once in a while, and we're not going to go super crazy. I tell them, I don't know if you need the beast mode, because it's a lot. Look at this. If you go with a Flagstaff, you know, you'll still get that independent suspension, but look at that. It'll definitely help the frame of the trailer. It sits a lot higher. You don't have an axle, so you won't hit boulders and stuff. I always give this analogy on my videos. Like I said, I've been a distance runner my whole life, and I've recently got into backpacking and hiking and stuff. And in this instance, like, I wouldn't go hiking in my marathon shoes, and vice versa. I wouldn't go run a marathon in my all-terrain big hiking boots. So that's what you got to consider too, because with these tires, you're not going to get as good fuel mileage. It's going to be a little louder. It might bounce around a little bit. Whereas the road tire, you're going to get better fuel mileage. It's going to be a little smoother. It's not going to bounce around as much. But there's pros to this too, because if you are going to go off the beaten path, you know, you're not going to have to worry about things puncturing it as much. So really think about how you're going to camp, because if you go and get this and you don't really need it, it doesn't make sense. So you got that Azdel construction right here. So that composite outer wall. This is going to be a 19.4. And this is going to be 4,415 pounds, 24 feet, 2 inches. This is going to be kind of like an open floor concept. I like 24 to 25 feet. That is the length I'd go with. 30 feet might be a little too big for me, but we are picking up the 2026 J-Flight next week, thanks to your videos. Whoa, I don't even sell Jayco. That's cool. I hope you enjoy it. Where are you from? I'm curious. I like Jayco. I'm a fan of Jayco. Jaycos are nice. I've never sold them, but I hear they're nice. So this will have that beast mode suspension. Like I said, this will have very similar color schemes to that Surveyor, because of that, they come out of the same factory. So north-south facing bed, so you can walk around it. This will be a 60 by 80 true queen. If you're watching this as a replay, this isn't my normal Indiana. Nice. You're in the mecca of where RVs are made. Washington State. That is incredible. I appreciate that my videos helped you. If you guys think I deserve it, definitely leave a review at Albuquerque RV on our Google reviews. People have done that, and I appreciate it so much. It helps me more than you know. I'll leave a link in the description, or you could just type in Albuquerque RV. If you could, leave a comment if I've helped you in any way. It goes a long way, being that we're just a locally owned dealership right next to, you know, the big corporate dealerships. So you got that back-facing bathroom. Like I forgot to mention it. So there's pros and cons to the back bathroom. So like if you have a private room, if you have guests, you tend to have to walk through the whole living area. You know, you don't have as much privacy. If your bathroom is in the middle, you know, if your significant other is showering or anything, they can go into the bathroom and kind of, you know, have a little more privacy and change. So they did stop doing that shower miser to conserve water on the Nobos. You can always add it. You can get it in a Flagstaff too. This is a 2025 because of that sink. They did get rid of that sink. I mentioned it in my last video. Check it out if you want to know why. But they did move that money towards the toilet. So they gave you a porcelain toilet. They gave you a rain cover for your big old fart fan there. And then they gave you like a bigger bracket outside for your cooktop. So definitely check out my other videos. They're a lot more in depth. Let's check out this plumbing on this one. Should be the same because it's a Surveyor. If you're wondering why there's stuff in here, it is not used. The owner of Albuquerque RV stages every single unit. It's really cool. So there is your plumbing right there. It's kind of not focusing. And then the plumbing in the bathroom we'll check. After this, we will go to the best brand, in my opinion. Not the best. I need to stop saying that. They're all good trailers, but I just love the brand a lot. So there's your plumbing in this one. So now we're going to be jumping up to the Flagstaff. Very close, but you'll see a difference. So the Flagstaff still will have that automotive grade independent suspension. It just won't have this crazy beast mode suspension. So if you want to watch the tour on this, it is the 19.4. You don't get a ladder like you will on a Flagstaff. Of course. That's what I'm here for. Isn't this awesome? You're able to watch tons of like tours from the comfort of your couch. It seems like this is working out. I get a little bit of feedback, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. Okay, so that was actually, we're not gonna go to the Flagstaff yet. I wanted to show you now we're gonna go up to a 27-foot Nobo. So the last one was 25 feet. So I'm showing you guys, you know, one 19-foot and then one 29-foot of each brand. This is a great layout. And I'll explain the pros and cons to this. You know, sometimes I shoot myself in the foot, but I don't want people to buy something and then they realize what they don't like. So this is gonna be the 20.5, of course, with the beast mode. And once you get past that, usually you'll get dual axle about 25 feet. There is some brands that will do shorter, but now you'll get dual axle. It does add a little weight. This is going to be 27 feet 9 inches and 6,232 pounds. So the front kitchen, woo boy, look at that. It's got the bar stools. I love it. It's got the road vac. Kind of put this over here. The theater seating, you will have a rack and pinion slide system. So there's three main slide systems. You got rack and pinion, you got Schwintek, and then you got cable slides. So this will be a rack and pinion slide. You can see it's nice and flush with the floor. If it was a rack and pinion, you'll notice when you sit on the couch, your feet might dangle a little bit because it sits a little higher. So I'm not that tall, so my feet dangle a little bit. The thing with front kitchens is you tend to get a much higher tongue weight in all the front kitchens, and you'll also lose that front storage. That is the only downside. You don't get that pass-through storage on some of the front kitchens, but sometimes they make up for it. This will be a 2026 because you can see the sink has changed. I'll show you the price of this as well. And I did show you the plumbing on the last Nobo. It will be the same. So this is an instance where the bathroom is in the middle. So if you have people hanging out, you know, in the living area, and the significant other wants to shower, they can shower up and then go to the bedroom and have a little bit of privacy. So that is the pro to having that middle bathroom. Lots of space to get out and shower. Feel free to ask me any questions. No, there's no dumb questions. I know it's a big landscape when it comes to RVs. Where the heck is the light switch for the bedroom? So this is an interesting layout because it's an east-west facing bed, but you can still walk around it. I think you have about 16 inches on each side. So plenty of room to walk around. You got wardrobes on both sides. This is not a bad layout, and it doesn't have a slide in the back. So there's no slide back here on the bed, which is pretty nice. Got storage up and above. If you're watching this as a replay, this is not my normal style of tours. Everyone will tell you my tours are extremely in-depth, almost overkill. Might need to make them a little shorter. So definitely check out my other videos. If you see any of these that you like, check out my other tours. And I'm giving you the model number, so just type it into YouTube and put Tyler Talks Travel Trailers and it will pop up. We are a locally owned dealership out here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. where we can save you thousands on taxes because we have the Sunshine Law, which means you can get our sales tax without having a physical address, which is 4%. We can also order you units, special order. Usually takes about 8 weeks. So if you want a factory fresh one, we can get you that. So let me just show you this. I get a little more honest on my lives because I want to tell you the pros and cons of some of these layouts. So like I said, when it's a front kitchen, some layouts don't give you very much storage. So let's look at the storage on the outside. You lose that pass-through storage. You got the big bracket right here. You do have this storage, which isn't too bad. Whoa. So that is your storage right here. It's all finished off. You do get the griddle on the Nobos that hooks on outside, but that would be your only storage. So the only downside to those front kitchens. But I am such a fan of front kitchens. I would probably still live with it because you can use, you know, your front, your bed, the bed of your truck. So that'll be the Nobos. Let's check out some Flagstaffs. The king of brands. If you don't know, Flagstaff actually is the same brand as Rockwood. Rockwood's the same brand as Flagstaff. If you want the good Flagstaff and the good Rockwood, make sure it's made at the Millsburg, Indiana plant in Millsburg, Indiana. That's the plant where they come out like real good. So we'll check out some Flagstaffs real quick. I will start with an E-Pro, then we'll do a Microlite and then a Classic so you guys can see, you know, different levels. I got a haircut. Does it look good? Those of you that have been here for a while, I used to have a mullet. I think I'm gonna go back to the mullet and the big old gold glasses. Some of you have been around that long. That's awesome. So let's go to an E-Pro. So with the Flagstaffs, it'll go E-Pro, Microlite, Superlite, and Classic. The great thing about Flagstaff is all of the brand, it doesn't matter what level you buy, the quality of construction will be the same. That's why I love Flagstaff so much. Like if you go to Grand Design, they have like entry-level trailers too. Uh-oh, my camera's following me. Like they'll have a Transcend, which is more traditional stick and tin. Flagstaff will have good quality no matter what. So let's start at an E-Pro. And I'll explain some of the differences from an E-Pro to a Microlite, because there is some small differences. So this will be the shortest. Let me stop my camera from following me. Is it still following me? There we go. Okay, so there is some differences from a Microlite and an E-Pro. And I got two right here that we will show you. Let's plug this in real quick. I don't hear the gremlins anymore. I think they're hiding from me. So this is a floor plan I toured this week. So I figured we would do this if you have any questions on it. 21 feet with dual axle. How cool is that? So dual axle, this is about as short as you can get with two axles, if that's something important to you. I mean, it's not a huge deal to me, but it's honestly, if you get a flat, you know, 3 tires is better than 1. You know, you can get off and get to safety. This will be the 20 FK. And so now we've been working our way up to the Flagstaffs. Lots of difference in construction. So from the Surveyor, you do get that composite outer wall, but Flagstaff double layers it. So your outer wall and inner wall are that composite material that really help with that delamination. You know, Luan is just wood, so it starts to get moldy. You won't have to worry about that on these trailers. You're also moving up to a torsion axle. So if that beast mode suspension is just a little too intense for you, that the torsion axle is perfect. The only difference is there's like an axle still. The other difference from a Microlite to an E-Pro is that these E-Pros will not have an enclosed underbelly. The Microlites will, so that's one difference. But it will still have that 12-volt heating, the heat pads on the tank, so you can use this in cold weather. Again, this is a front kitchen, so I'll show you outside with the storage because I want you guys to be prepared when you're out looking at these, because it's a lot of stuff you have to remember, and then you buy one and you're like, shoot, didn't remember that. So front kitchen, best thing about front kitchens is you get tons of counter space. You get a lot of cabinet space on the inside. So you do lose storage on the outside, but you gain a lot on the inside. All of your appliances will be Magic Chef, whereas on the other ones, they're going to be Furrion. So you got Magic Chef, even your fridge is Magic Chef. This does have one slide out. My golf cart's having a little issues with this one. Uh-oh. So one slide right here. On the ePros, you will get a Schwintek slide system. And then there's only one microlight you get a Schwintek slide, and that is the 21FBRS, which we are going to go into. So you got an east-west facing bed, and it is a true 60 by 80. And it has a bunk. I don't know about this bunk. It's like 6 feet long. It's a big bunk. Like, you could sleep an adult. But like I said in my video, if you have someone that tosses and turns like me, they might end up on top of you. And that does fold up, so if you're a little claustrophobic. Another thing with the ePros is they're 7.5 feet wide. Whereas once you go to the microlight, you'll get an 8-foot wide box. So it's a little narrower and a little lower. So I think the ceiling in this is 6 feet 6 inches. In the microlight, you'll get 6 feet 8 inches of headroom. So if you are taller, the microlight might be a little too tight for you. And then it does have the tub that has an 18-inch, you know, thing to step up in. And I'll show you. See how the bathroom is just a little bit tighter. And when we go to the microlight, you'll see a big difference. So other than those little things, that's the biggest differences from an ePro to a microlight. There's really not a whole lot of difference. Let's try to pick some stuff out that is different. So when we go to the microlight, you'll see that the fridge will be 10 cubic foot instead of 8 cubic foot, 7.5 feet wide, lower ceilings. Your countertops aren't solid surface. It's like a different type of material, which isn't bad. You do get 200 watts of solar and an 1800 watt inverter in this. One thing I didn't mention in the Nobo is in the Nobo, you're going to get 2000 watts of solar and, or no, 2000 watt inverter and a 400 watt solar. So now let's look at the storage. This is a front kitchen, just to prove my point to you guys. You don't get that pass-through storage like you normally would, but you do get the Magic Chef fridge for those cold snacks. And as we walk around, they did stop giving you the griddle on the normal floor plans. This one has an outdoor kitchen, so you will get a griddle. But on all the 26 floor plans, you do not get griddle. So you got an outdoor kitchen with your cooktop. I won't pull it out. You guys seen it. So a nice little area to cook. Another nice feature when you jump up to the Flagstaff is you got frameless windows. So there's no gasket. And it's nice because you don't have to worry about that getting deteriorating in the sun, getting, you know, brittle. Another thing is you won't have those black streaks coming down as this trailer ages like some trailers out there. So still, I haven't showed you storage. This will be the one storage you have right here. And Flagstaff 6 sides aluminum frames everything. So now you're jumping up even more in a little bit of quality from the Nobo and the Surveyor. So they aluminum frame the bunks, the dinettes, underneath the bed. Usually this would be wood. So everything aluminum frame in a Flagstaff. You got your receiver, so that could be used as, you know, storage or like a cargo rack. You can see you get the ladder, whereas Nobo Surveyor, you won't get the ladder. We'll have a lifetime warranty on the roof. Still standard, you get the 6-gallon water heater. Sometimes the tankless water heaters do have issues with at high altitude. And as you notice, those Catalinas have the altitude adjustment. So if you do get a trailer with tankless, the altitude adjustment will make a big difference. So not a super big slide, like I said, Schwintek slide. When you're out looking at trailers, do this. Go push on the slides. You will be shocked. Some trailers out there, the brands are so cheap. During a front kitchen, just know a lot of times you do lose that pass-through storage like you would normally get when it's the bed in the front. Look at that. So there is some layouts that have the storage, a lot of storage with the front kitchen, and Flagstaff does make one, but just keep an eye out for that when you're out looking. Let's go to the microlight now. So now we're going from a Flagstaff ePro to the microlight. Construction will be the same, but I'm going to point out things that are different. Just so that way, I know it could be confusing. It's like, why is there so many brands? A lot of it is the size and some small little details. So this will be the Flagstaff Microlight 21FBRS. So if the ePro is just a little too short for you, this would be the next step up. This is the next step up from an ePro. So if you're taller, you want a little more space, this would be the next option you can get. So let's go inside of this one. Now you're moving up to dual axle, even though that one did. That 20FK is the only E-Pro they make that's dual axle, which I wish they made more. So Flagstaff E-Pro, I sold it yesterday. I love this layout. Really nice customers. They came all the way from Texas to see me. They got a huge tax advantage because they heard about the Sunshine Law. Their taxes in Texas was like 8.6%. So they saved half on their taxes. Yes, it was a drive, but like I said, why give it to the government? Take a trip at it, make a trip out of it, come out. You guys come out here, I'll take you to Garduño's, get you some Mexican food. Or Sadie's, that's pretty good. This will be 22 feet 4 inches and 4,495 pounds. So this one you could almost tow with the Tacoma. You could tow this one with a Tacoma. You can put 1,200 pounds of cargo. Really doubt you would hit that. You'd probably be about 800 pounds. So you could tow this with a Tacoma. They do make a step up above this too, and I'll explain that. But see how much more room you have in this? What's going on, James? We are doing 2 couples coaches of each brand. We're kind of getting to the end of the Flagstaffs. And then once I'm finished, you guys can tell me if you want to see anything else. So as you can see, this is an 8-foot wide box, whereas the E-Pro is 7.5 feet wide. Your interior height is going to be 6 feet 8 inches in this, whereas the E-Pro is going to be 6 feet 6 inches. So that is one big difference. And the inverter, all of your outlets are hot, so you can run those without a generator or shore power. I should have showed you the price from the E-Pro to this. Maybe I'll show it to you and then we'll go check out the E-Pro price just so you can see the difference. So a lot more space, and then also you do get a 10 cubic foot refrigerator versus the 8 cubic foot. And you can open it both ways, which is pretty handy, so you can pull your trays out and clean them, or if you're loading it. And then your bathroom, you're going to have a lot more height in the shower. So this is why I was pointing out when you're looking at these brands, the Flagstaffs at least, look how much more height I have in this. So a lot more headroom for sure in this than the E-Pro. So if you are bigger, the E-Pro might be a little bit more difficult for you. And like I said, the Nobo doesn't do the shower miser, but all of the Flagstaffs will. But you do get that road vac in the Nobo, and you won't get that in the Flagstaff. If you remember, I showed you the Surveyor cabinetry. Now you're in real wood cabinetry. So all these little details that people don't notice, but they see the price and it's significantly more, but the sales guy doesn't know how to explain what the differences are. So that's what's huge. So that's why I want to point these things out to you guys when you're out looking. So all real wood cabinetry versus the paper wrapped cabinetry like in the Surveyor. In the Surveyor, you get leaf spring axle, whereas in the Nobo, you're going to get a torsion or a beast mode suspension. This, you'll get a torsion axle. Another cool thing about Flagstaff is they put galvanized steel behind all of their cabinetry, whereas most companies are going to be aluminum. So it's a thin sheet of aluminum. You're not going to have to worry about your cabinetry being on the floor when you get to your destination. And like I showed you on the E-Pro, the Nobo, the Surveyor, it's a different material. On the Flagstaffs, you're going to get all solid surface countertops. So in my opinion, the reason I made the Flagstaff the very last brand I wanted to show you is you can kind of see it. You know, going from all the way out of Catalina to this, the interior is built, it's just finished a little better, in my opinion, than a Surveyor because of the construction they do. So really weigh out what you're going to want to use it for, things like that. So the price on this Microlite, this is a fresh 2026 from the factory. It was originally $40. Then you got your discounts down to $34,995. And we'll go see what the E-Pro is. Some dealerships, so I want to explain this because I haven't done it. Some dealerships will add prep and freight. Some dealerships will hide the prep and freight in the price, so you don't know what you're paying. We add the prep and freight after, so you know what you're paying for. It's really annoying, you know, you just got to ask for an out-the-door price when you're out looking at trailers. Anytime you're looking at online pricing, it usually is not the price. They'll add prep and freight. It is what it is. It is a real cost to the dealership. These come from Indiana. And then the prep includes your batteries, you know, all that stuff. But the main thing it does is it activates your manufacturer warranty. So it won't have the warranty linked to you until it gets that inspection by a certified tech. Let's see. And I can see why people get upset about it, but it's just that the salespeople don't know how to explain it correctly. But when you are seeing pricing out there, you'll see really high prices, which those are the ones that hide the prep and freight into the price. And then you'll see very low prices where they'll add the prep and freight into the price. Me personally, I'd rather know what I'm paying for. So like we add it into the price. So like the prep here is $17.95 and then the freight is $19.95. Everything's negotiable, but just keep that in mind when you're out looking at trailers. So let me turn you around. So that one was $34,995. This one will be $32,995. So it's not a whole lot more to jump up to the Microlite, but this one has dual axle. So let's go look at an ePro single axle and see what the price is. Third-party inspection, very good question. So let me do the price and then I'll talk about that with you. So this will be a single axle ePro. Let's see what the price is on this. This will have the theater seating in the back. I love this layout. I've done a tour on this as well. This one is going to be 3,800 pounds and 20 feet 8 inches. I won't forget your question. Let's see what the price is on this. Just keep in mind, if you are watching this as a replay 3 years down the road, the price probably is not the same. So don't be upset if you call me. So $31,995, down from $36. So jumping from this to a Microlite, Microlite was $34,995 and this is $31,995. So let's talk about third-party inspections. Really great question. There's times when you should do it, and there's times when I don't see you needing to do it. So if you're buying it from a private seller, definitely get that third-party inspection. Let me stop this thing real quick. My camera follows me. Definitely get that third-party inspection because you don't know what's wrong with it or anything like that. If you're buying it from a dealership, like here in New Mexico, in our dealership, all of our techs are certified. You know, they went to a class and got all their certifications and stuff. You do not need to worry about them putting their best foot forward. A lot of these dealerships, they want you to come back and buy again. They're not gonna like hide something from you. Dang, that's loud. Jeez. I'd hate to drive that thing. So definitely get a third-party inspection if you're buying it privately. If the dealership says, no, you cannot hire a third-party inspection, you need to run. Like, you should be able to do whatever you want. I have had people that have done third-party inspections, and I think it's a waste of money for the customer, but of course I want them to feel comfortable. So we've had people come in, get the third-party inspection, but you will have to pay for it. And I don't know. If you buy used, you can also get an inspection from the dealership as well. Here at Albuquerque RV, we will actually fix certain, like most of the things. If we find like the water heater isn't working or something, we'll either fix it, we'll let you know. You can back out of the deal if something is like seriously wrong, like, you know, the fridge is not working or anything like that. So yes, hire an inspector, third-party inspector if you're buying privately. And also, yes, hire an inspector if it gives you peace of mind, but I don't think you need to do it if you're buying from a dealership, at least us, because we take care of our customers. We want to put our best foot forward, and we're locally owned, you know, reviews are huge. Check out our reviews. So I hope that answered your question. But yeah, if a dealership doesn't let you get a third-party inspector, if you for sure want it, definitely go to a different dealership. But it's a pretty extensive prep that we do on all of our new stuff and used stuff. It is $17.95 if you want the prep. And they go through everything, every little thing. Check the tanks, check the tires. The other day I sold a used trailer and they found that the tires were too old, like it wasn't safe for the customer. And we went and replaced all the tires, which, you know, that comes out of our money and stuff. So we will put our best foot forward here at Albuquerque RV if we see, you know, like the tires aren't safe and stuff like that. So now we are going to go into a Flagstaff Classic. So we've gone from an ePro to a Superlite, or not a Superlite, we're going to a Microlite to a Classic. This is one I get people talking about a lot. They do make a Superlite, and the main difference from a Superlite to a Classic is you get taller interior ceilings on the Classic. So that's basically it, because you will get auto level on the Superlight, as you can see. So mainly the big differences you'll get from a Superlight to a Classic is you're going to get the weather shield on the awning, and you're going to get, I think it's like 82-inch interior ceilings, so higher ceilings. We'll go inside and check this one out. This is the 826 MBR. People absolutely love this floor plan. This is, all right, I just said it, 826 MBR. This is going to be a 2024. So if you're out there and you want one, we got a 2024 and we will give you a smoking deal on it. 7,800 pounds and 29 feet, 11 inches. Look at this. Tell me this doesn't feel like a hotel suite on wheels without the bed bugs. Nice and fresh. Solid surface countertops. Now, if you've been here since the beginning, you can see the difference going from, you know, Catalina, Surveyor, Nobo up to the Classic. This is the gas electric fridge. So if you are looking for one with the gas electric fridge, I got one. They pretty much phased it out. I'll show you the price at the end. This is a 2024. Looks like we just lowered the price again, and I'll show it to you. This is a great couples coach. Like you said, I said this is a front kitchen. Oh, look at that. King size bed. I had someone buy this recently, and travel mode, when it's in, you can't really get to the bathroom, but they said they just roll over the bed. I would be careful with that because you do not want to sit, stand, or do anything on the slides when they're in. A lot of people get that confused. Motorhomes are engineered to use the slides when they're in. You cannot do that on travel trailers, fifth wheels. It doesn't matter what brand you buy. When we get closer to the end, I'll show you a used fifth wheel we just got in. It is immaculate. It's a pretty unfortunate story about how we got it, but we did get one that has hardly been used, maybe 4 times. It involved someone passing, unfortunately, and the kids took it in. So we are going to sell it, and I'm going to show it to you. Corey! So really nice layout. Look how big this is. This is insane. I'm standing over here in the corner. Massive. Look at that. So this is a nice layout. When you get to the Classic too, some of them will have, this one doesn't. Some of them will have washer dryer prep. They make the 25 MBR. It is an incredible layout. It just came out this year. If you like this layout, they make a 25-foot version. And basically all you do is it doesn't have the dual vanity. So if you don't need dual sinks, you know, most people, I wouldn't need 2 sinks. Go check out my video on the 2026 25 MBR. It is amazing. It's probably my favorite layout. Go onto YouTube, type in Tyler Talks Travel Trailers 2026 25 MBR and check that layout out. So this is a 24. Let me show you the price. Looks like we got a tag in here still. So this was the price, 70 down to 52,995, and then we just lowered it again. So 70 down to 49,995. So I need to take this tag out so people don't get confused. But that is the new price of a 2024. If you are looking for one, we will save you thousands on the taxes too because of that sunshine law. Let's go take a look at that Flagstaff real quick. That was kind of going through each brand and showing you the different levels and construction and stuff. Hopefully that helped you guys a little bit. If you guys want to see anything, now is the time. If you want to give me some specs that you're looking for, what your tow vehicle is, I can show you some units before we go off. I want to show you this Flagstaff we just got. It is crazy. I'm going to show you 2 more. We're going long today. I feel good today. It's a good day. I got a haircut. So Flagstaff has officially come out with a full profile fifth wheel. I think it's one of their bigger ones. Let me show you this thing. It is crazy. It's beautiful. Let's see if I can get close to this. This is the newest. This might be a first look at this trailer for you guys. I don't know if anyone's done tours on this. This thing is awesome. You guys all subscribed out there? Hit that subscribe button. Let me know if you are. All right, check this beauty out. So all the Flagstaff fifth wheels, they will be classics. So there is no like lower levels or anything. This is gonna be the 405 CBH. Never been seen. I'm just saying that. It's probably been seen. This is gonna be 40 feet. So they never used to make 40-foot fifth wheels, and it's 11,000 pounds. So a little heavier. My golf cart has a little bit of issues with this big of a unit, but look at that. Holy smokes. Can you believe it? What are the benefits versus drawbacks for trailer versus fifth wheel? So there is drawbacks to everything. Like I always tell you guys, it is going to be better to tow. You won't have to mess around with the weight distribution, hitches and stuff like that. The drawback to the fifth wheel is you do lose your truck bed. So the towing is going to be better, which is nice. And you get higher interior height ceilings. Like your interior height is insane in these. It feels like a house. So you do get taller ceilings in these. Travel trailer is nice because obviously you do get the bed or the bed of your truck. Another thing is it is significantly less for a travel trailer versus a fifth wheel. And I'll show you the price of this. We got it yesterday. How insane is this? So I'll show you the price. They do make smaller fifth wheels that are, I think the smallest you can get now, like with Flagstaff, is going to be 28 feet. So you got the bunks, 3 air conditioners. This is a perfect opportunity for me to show you that how Flagstaff aluminum frames everything, because you can't really see it. Look at that. Did you see that? See how it's aluminum framed on the bunks? Hardly any brands do that out there. So like I told you, they 6-side aluminum frame everything, but Flagstaff goes even a step further and aluminum frames the bunks, the dinettes. So that dinette is aluminum, even underneath all your beds. So you got to imagine how a lot of stress is going on these. You know, the kids jumping up and down. You know, maybe you're putting your shoes on the front of the bed. It really helps with that. So that is crazy, isn't that? Look how nice this is. It is beautiful. You got the storage in the back. I'm going to be touring this hopefully this week. I'll have to do it on my day off because it's just so big. Those of you that are subscribed, you know I go super in depth. Let me know if you guys like how in depth they are, because it's a lot of work. If you guys don't want them that long, I could do it a little shorter. You got your pantry. Look at that. But the appliances are amazing in this thing. Look at that. All Magic Chef. Beautiful. You got your rack and pinion slide system with the theater seating. Do you make travel trailers with rear hitch weights for more than 300 pounds? I don't know how it is where you're located, but in New Mexico, it's not legal to tandem tow travel trailers. You have to do a fifth wheel. And I believe it's about 74 feet or 64 feet is the total length you can tandem tow. So if you get a fifth wheel, you probably have to be around 36 feet to tandem tow. So I'm pretty sure it's not legal in most states. You can't tandem tow with travel trailers. Look, it's got a full fiberglass one-piece shower enclosure. Man, that looks good. This is nicer than my last apartment. Do the bowling ball like Hunter. Best length to get. I like 25-foot length trailers because I just think they're perfect. If it's just for a couple, 25 feet is perfect. I love that. Or 27 if you want like a little more room. If you want to go to the national parks, make sure it's at 30 feet. Or I would just go under 30 feet. Make sure it's 29 feet, 9 inches from tip to back. Because a lot of national parks, once you get to that 30-foot mark, they're a little more picky with the lengths that they allow. So I always tell people, they come in so excited and they see these big travel trailers and fifth wheels. I kind of put a little bit of doubt in their head just because I don't want them to have to come and trade it in a year because it's too big. A lot of times they go, they go bigger than what they need and then they're trading it in. Thank you, Norman, so much. I appreciate it. If you guys think I deserve it, go into Google and type into Google Albuquerque RV, leave a review. If I deserve it, we are having a competition through the entire dealership. And I think I'm like third out of 35 employees, not including salespeople. It's literally everyone. So if you could leave a review, that would help me a lot, but only if I deserve it. I don't like to win if it's cheating. So really nice floor plan. You got your standalone table. And like I said, let's see if I can show, oh, I can't show you. It's hard to tell, but see, there's aluminum framing right there in that crack. So there's proof right there, all aluminum framed. Really nice. Let me show you this Flagstaff fifth wheel we got. Dang, we're already over an hour. I have fun with these. See the storage real quick. Tons of storage. Let's show you this fifth wheel real quick. Very unfortunate situation that happened, but hopefully we could help him out. Turn you around so you can make fun of my ugly mug. Whew. Talk so much. Hey buddy, do you guys carry Alliance fifth wheels? I have one. I'll show you one and I'll tell you what I don't like about it too. No, they're nice, but I'll show you one. Check this beauty out. I'd pick a Flagstaff over an Alliance any day. A lot of times these brands, they come out and they're new brands, and these companies hit it hard with the marketing. And that's why you saw like Grand Design and all those companies, they just hit it hard with marketing and they get tons of hype behind them. So let me plug this in. Oh, actually it has lights. Turn you around. Don't look at that ugly guy. 8529R LBS. Yes, they are coming out with a 25-foot no slide. I'm so excited to get it. Once it gets here, I will show it to you guys. Let's turn these lights on. Look at this, 2023, used 4 times. 4 times this has been used. And unfortunately, the father passed away. I had sold this to them about 1.5 years ago. Super nice people. Their kids ended up with it. And now we are going to be selling it for them. So if you're looking for one that is immaculate, I have one. And like I said, I'll save you thousands on the taxes. The other crazy thing about our registration here in New Mexico is it's based off of the weight, not the sales tax. So like on those 25-foot microlights, it's probably going to be like $35 a year to re-register your trailer. So you'll save thousands on the initial taxes, but you'll also save, you know, thousands years down the road, because New Mexico will mail you a little form, and then you could just re-register it every year without a physical address here. We do it all the time. And I'm sure you've never heard it, because why would other reviewers mention that unless they lived in New Mexico? Look at this, it's brand spanking new. So let me know. Call Albuquerque RV, ask for Tyler if you're looking for a nice pre-owned fifth wheel. It's brand spanking new. I see a little bit of this, like a stains right there on the carpet, but that'll come out. So let me show you an Alliance real quick and show you. It's not a whole lot of things I don't like about the Alliance, but there's one thing that I think is insane. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. So that is a used Flagstaff we got in 2023. We do carry used, and I have a 2025 Grand Design Imagine. Yes, 25. Hear this story. So there's a customer I had. He's bought, 3 Flagstaffs. Actually, they were Rockwoods when I was at another dealership, but he's bought 3 Rockwoods off me. And he came to me again to buy a Flagstaff, and he ended up calling me, and he's like, Tyler, we're gonna go with the Grand Design. It's just a little less. And I said, no, don't do it. Don't do it. And so he bought it at Holiday World, about 3 or 4 hours away. He literally bought it, took it home, and then just came to us and traded it in. So they didn't even use it. The wife is older, and I'll show it to you. She couldn't make the bed. And I'll show you how the big difference between a Flagstaff and an Imagine. The quality is just not there compared to a Flagstaff. You'll probably spend like $2 or $3 grand more for a Flagstaff, but I promise it's a big difference. Let me stop this real quick. But I do like the Alliance floor plans. They make that one with like the bar table on the outside. That thing looks cool. Okay. So this is a pre-owned Alliance we got. It's probably not what you're looking for, but kind of just poke our head in this. It's a big fifth wheel, 36 V11. Of course, though, I'm going to be biased. You know, I carry Flagstaff. Why would I say? Not going to lie to you. All right. Dang, it's dark in here. Lights. Oh, that's weird. The lights don't go on. So this is an Alliance right here. Nice kitchen. It looks like your cabinetry is wood, which is good. Appliances. Looks like you got Everchill for your fridge. You got, I don't know what that is. That's a Furrion, I believe. And then Greystone microwave. Like I said, a lot of these companies will just kind of put random, like not random, but a bunch of different brands in it. Pretty nice. Solid surface countertops. I like this backsplash. That's not like cheap. That's not cheap at all. Like really good. Solid surface countertops, real wood cabinetry, porcelain toilet, one-piece fiberglass enclosure. Not bad. Slide out bed. The only bone I got to pick with this, they use, I think it's a Coleman Mach 15,000 BTU air conditioner. It's all ducted too. But check this out. This is, oh, let me turn the light on and turn you around. So there's that. This is my bone to pick with Alliance. This is a $100,000 fifth wheel, and you're going to tell me you're not going to duct the air conditioner? How ridiculous is that? You will be surprised. When you have an AC that is not ducted, it's so loud you won't be able to watch the TV or have a conversation in a $100,000 fifth wheel. That's my only bone to pick. So I acted like it was a bunch of stuff, but it really wasn't. I just think it's super weird that you wouldn't put a ducted AC. All of these are just dumped straight into the rooms. Super loud. But this is a nice unit we have. The garage is about 10 feet, a little shorter. Let me show you a Grand Design real quick. We're going long today, people. Appreciate all the questions. I go as long as you guys are there. Let me show you a Grand Design, though. Let me just show you why I'd pick a Flagstaff over a Grand Design. I used to sell Grand Design. It's been a while though, so some of the changes might be different. So this is a 2025, never used. Let me show you real quick. So if you're looking for a super fresh Grand Design, like I'm saying, it's not a bad brand. I'm just kind of pointing out why I think they get so much hype. There we go. All right, Grand Design. Whoa, I was putting it close to my face, see my boogers. Grand Design Imagine 2025. Like I said, they bought it from Holiday World. This is a 2500 RL. Boom. It looks nice for sure. Oh, the lights aren't even working. Let me go turn the lights on real quick. So one thing that it doesn't have is the axles. So Flagstaff will have a torsion axle, that automotive grade independent suspension. These will not. So it is leaf spring, which is a big, you know, for a couple grand more to get a Flagstaff, I think I would go spend a little more to get that suspension. Another difference from the Flagstaff to the Imagine is, like I just showed you, all that aluminum framing in the dinette and the bunks and everything. They don't do that on these. Another thing is, on the Flagstaff, it has that gas strut, so it helps, you know, bring these steps up. These just fall straight down. I don't believe it has an inverter. These lights are very dim, but still nice. You got solid surface countertops. You got paper, that looks like it's paper wrapped or a vinyl material or something. So it's not real wood cabinetry like a Flagstaff. And like I said, look at that. Particle board and wood framing on the dinettes. They paid 45 grand for this trailer, and ours was like 50 after taxes. So a little better construction. Still getting big air conditioners. In this unit, you got the theater seating. And then, uh-oh, that's not like a Flagstaff. Theater seating, but if you do want one, I got one fresh. These lights are pretty cool, how they go across. Yes, I always point this one out. Like even the lights, these lights, that one's not, I don't know. It's just like the finishing isn't the same as a Flagstaff. You got not Magic Chef appliances like a Flagstaff. Let's see what the fart fan is. Let's see if they gave you a big one. You don't even get a big fart fan in this thing. Should be, I don't know if this has tank heaters. We will see. But yeah, they traded this in after literally never using it because she couldn't make the bed. Like it was too hard for her to reach. They were older couple, and they ended up buying a Flagstaff. You could see the differences in this from a Flagstaff. 2 air conditioners, which is good. It is ducted. That's good. In the Flagstaff, you can close them and turn them. These, you're kind of stuck with where they are. So on a Flagstaff, you could push both air conditioners to the bedroom if you wanted to. Grand Design, you won't. You know, just random brands, not Magic Chef. Just little details. I'm just pointing this out. It's not like a deal breaker, I'm assuming, to you guys. But like, if you're paying for it and it's a little more, it is a difference. It's just you can't really see it when you're out looking because the sales guy is talking so much you can't focus. So that is a 2025 Grand Design. It looks like you have a rack and pinion slide system, which is good. I do not see tank heaters on this. So in a Flagstaff, you'll get 12-volt heat pads. I love the heat pads because if you're going down the road and driving through a cold state, you can't keep your heater running when you're going down the road. So your tanks could potentially freeze and crack. So you'll get 12-volt heat pads in the Flagstaff versus just a heated and enclosed underbelly. So it's got the Arctic insulation, but no 12-volt heat pads. It does have ABS brakes. That's pretty cool. Tankless water heater. Decent storage. And I don't think this is, let's see if it's a, I don't see any label or anything of the composite outer wall. So check that if you, I'm not totally sure. I can't remember. So on the Flagstaff, you're gonna get double layered composite walls. There's just no comparison, like he said. Woo! That was a long one, guys. If you guys have any last requests, any questions, let me know. We'll drive around real quick. Dang, 78 minutes. I don't see no other YouTubers doing this. It's because it's a lot of work. And remembering all the specs, the options, the features. A lot of these people, they didn't really sell trailers. So they're just kind of showing you, you know, the layout and saying like, there's a window. There's the water heater. I really, really try. It's not that they're bad at all by any means. They're great. But I really try to show you the features and options and tell you the pros and cons. That is the only way you can decide versus someone just saying like, there's the water heater, but what kind of water heater, what kind of tank heaters, all that stuff. So if there's people out there, send them my way, tell them where to come. Like I said, we are a locally owned dealership in Albuquerque, New Mexico, at Albuquerque RV. If you think I deserved it, leave a review. Go to Google and type in Albuquerque RV, leave a review. We're having a competition, only if I've earned it though. And then also, like I said, we are one of the only states, we are the only state that has the sunshine law. So I could save you thousands of dollars on taxes. I've mentioned this story recently. I sold one to a guy in Albuquerque, of course, or in Arizona. So Arizona's taxes, it starts off at a base tax of 6.2%. Then there's county and city multipliers. The average tax in Arizona is 8.6% after those county and city multipliers. And majority of them are all the way up to 11.9% for sales tax. So he ordered one from me. He's a state away. He saved literally thousands of dollars on the taxes by ordering a NOBO with me. Not only that, but if you heard me earlier, I said you can register it. The state will mail you a form to re-register in New Mexico. And something that's 25 feet, it's based off of the weight. So you'll probably spend $35 a year to re-register the trailer versus some states it's off sales tax. I know like Nevada is like $600 to re-register every year. You do not need a physical address to register your trailer here or to buy from here and get our sales tax. Like I was saying, even if it comes out to like the same price after taxes where you're at, why give the government the money? Come take a trip, come see me. I'll take you to Sadie's, get some Mexican food and make a trip out of it. Spend the money on you instead of spending it on, you know, the government. So we'll save you a lot of money. Like I said, we carry a lot of brands. We could special order you whatever you want. It's about 8 weeks out. This is probably my best live we've done. All thanks to you guys. The channel is growing. We carry Catalina, Surveyor, No Boundaries. Dang, we're getting a lot of people in here now. Should we keep going? Catalina, Flagstaff, Nobo, Impression, Raptor. We carry all the fifth wheels of those brands. We also have Riverstone, and we will be getting Cedar Creek. So any last questions, any last requests? If you guys want to see anything, let me know. We got lots of great stuff here. We kind of specialize in the smaller tow behinds. So if that's what you're looking for, not really the motorhomes and stuff like that. We do carry a few of them. But like I said, we are a locally owned dealership. And I appreciate you guys so much. I can't believe how fast this has grown. You have no idea how grateful I am for it. So this is growing fast. Let people know where to come. Come to Tyler Talks Travel Trailers if you want those in-depth tours. And you guys have a fantastic evening. I'm off on Mondays and Tuesdays, so usually my first video back will be Wednesday. All right, guys. I appreciate you. We'll see you next Sunday, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.